Hello, everyone. I wanted to share with you a project that I did some time ago. And this is going to be one that I'm going to, my UFOs, unfinished objects that I'm going to be trying to finish this year. This is a quilt that was made with a child in mind, and I intend to gift it at some point. But I call it my bug track quilt. And it's put together with this scrappy, crazy log cabin type squares. There's four of them with the purple sashing in between, and all made with scraps. And then I did decorative stitches all throughout it. And the idea is to for the child to find where one of these begins and then follow that trail until they find the bug that's on that trail. And different bugs are done in different ribbons and things like that. Here's some ants, some little flies, some butterflies, more butterflies, some more ants. Let's come down here. More ladybugs. Ooh, a spider. Some more flying critters. Some more. You can see they're throughout the quilt. And another spider. Oh, and a little worm. Isn't that fun? And the different decorative trails run all over this quilt, so it did take a child quite a few hours to trace out each different one. I can't remember how many different trails I put through this quilt, but quite a few. I'm down to the very last part where I need to finish the binding, and I'm going to create the snippet binding for this one. This is not a huge quilt in itself. I can't remember the exact size, but it's not huge in the sense that it's not bed size. It's just more really like a little crib size quilt. And so I'm going to do the snippet binding on it. And I just wanted to show it to you before I do the binding. And then after I complete that binding, or maybe during the process, I'll make another video and you can see how I'm coming along in it. But I just thought if you're looking for an idea for a quilt for a child, you might do a bug quilt. You could also do a flower trail. Create flowers and then use your decorative machine stitching, or you could do a hand stitching to lead from flower to flower and let each, you can even take another piece of fabric, sew a line for each of your different decorative stitches, and then attach the flower to that on each one of those. In other words, it's a guide sheet. They can see what kind of stitch they're looking for and the flower that they'll find when they run to the end of that stitches. Now, one thing that I didn't do on this that I would say to do, for instance, I put my beginnings here, there, and everywhere, and on mine, and so it just it's hard for a child to know where to begin. So I would start all my decorative stitching on one side or the other. Start them and line them up, you might say, so that they can identify the stitch that they're looking for and trace that stitch until they find the flower that it goes to, that type of thing. But anyway, you can use your imagination and do whatever you wanted to do. That's just what I was working with this one. And designing it out, it was, I kind of had a little boy in mind, that crib comforter for a little boy that they could play with later as they grew up, and they could follow these trails and look for the bugs and things that are on the quilt. So that's just an idea, and just wanted to pop that out there for you, and see if that'll give you a little inspiration to make your own. If you don't want to do a bigger size, maybe you could just do one square. And let's see, let me get my ruler over here, and I can tell you what the squares are. They're probably 10-inch squares, okay, with a 2-inch sashing in between. So there's 4 of these 10-inch squares, 2-inch sashing, and then I've got a 2-inch border, which is green with little black ants on it. It's a vintage fabric. And like I said, I'm going to do the snippet style binding that I demonstrated in another video on my side here. And I think that would look really cool on this one here. So anyway, that's just, these are all basic vintage fabrics in here. Okay. Just be creative and do your thing, and it'll be cute. But if you're planning on doing a gift for a child or a grandchild or something like that, you might think of a flower trail or a bug trail quilt. Okay, till next time, let's all stay very scrap happy with some bugs or flowers.